Before history is written, it's played. Before it's frozen in time, it's fought one shift at a time. Before it's etched in silver, it's carved in ice. What happens next will last forever. The Stanley Cup Final on ABC and ESPN Plus begins Saturday.
All coaches aspire to be champions, and this time of year is when you set that vision for your team. By now, listeners of this podcast know about signature championship rings and have met some of the signature champion coaches who partner with them to celebrate their achievements. Reputable, affordable, first-class customer service are just some of the ways we keep hearing coaches describe signature championship rings. So as you're ramping up this summer for the upcoming season, create a championship vision for your team now using the design tool at sigaturechampions.com/podcast. Give your team a visual to motivate their pursuit of a championship in 2024. And when your team has a championship moment to celebrate, we highly recommend consulting with Signature Championship Rings.
Can't tell people enough what you run during the week is what you need to run on Saturday. And I've been at places where I haven't done a good enough job of this, and I've been at places where I wasn't the play caller and we didn't do a good enough job of copying and pasting exactly what we did on Tuesday's practice to what we need to run on first down.
This week's Clinic Series episode of Coaching Coordinator Podcast features Nate Milne, the head coach of Muhlenberg College. He was a speaker at the D3 Top 25 Clinic this past winter, sharing his valuable insights and experiences. He underscores the practicality of scoring on opening drives, citing their team's impressive success rate in recent seasons, and the broader implications of scoring early in the half. Coach Milne sheds light on various practical aspects of their strategy, such as ball security, scoring after defensive turnovers, and balance between running and passing plays. He stresses the importance of adapting their approach based on the situation and ensuring their team is well prepared for different scenarios, including varying tempos and personnel packages. If you're looking for an approach to calling the beginning of a half, Coach Milne's perspective will be very useful. The link to his entire presentation is in the show notes. As coaches, we know that some of the biggest hurdles to our team's success can come from off the field. Your team needs support to tackle the endless list of expenses, uniforms, training equipment, travel, and more. But raising that money can feel like a full-time job. Thankfully, there's Vertical Raise. Vertical Raise is the premier online fundraising platform using innovative technology to create the easiest and most efficient system available. Raise more money in less time with a local fundraising coach who works with your team every step of the way to customize the ideal fundraiser. With options for online donations, digital discount cards, premium product sales, and even spirit shops, Vertical Raise has top-of-the-line solutions for every fundraising style. To find out more, visit verticalraise.com and we'll get you connected with an exclusive offer on your first fundraiser. I've always been interested in the use of technology to make our jobs more effective, so I'm excited to continue sharing modern football technology with you here on the podcast. This innovative system leverages tendencies to improve self-scouting, game planning, and in-game decision-making at the speed of the game. Modern football stands out because it's a battle-tested platform used by teams at all levels, like four-time national champion Bishop Gorman, the five-time California state champion Folsom Bulldogs, six-time Texas state champion Lake Travis, Cal football, and the CFL's Grey Cup champions, the Montreal Alouettes. So book a demo today to see why these teams trust modern football technology. Visit www.teammofo.com/demo and mention Coach and Coordinator Podcast or use the coupon code CC10 to receive 10% off your first year.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Keith, for having me here tonight. Super excited about this topic. When I've given talks before, I really find it interesting to try to find something new a niche, if you will. This past weekend, we talked about some play action game here at another clinic. We've talked offensive line play, running the ball on third down. And then over the years, I went back and looked and I go, I don't think anybody's talked about kind of opening drive success or maybe some 2-minute things. And so those are the kind of things that intrigue me. And when we look back at this, it turned out we were really good at this kind of stuff. So in 2022, we scored on 8 of 11 opening drives, and we had 6 weeks in a row where we scored on our opening drive. And then this past season was 3 of 10. And so we were down a little bit, but as we go through this, you'll be able to see that there's more to it than just scoring on your opening drive on here. All right, as you can see, we had a pretty good season this past year, 10-1, 38 points per game, almost 42 going into one of the last few weeks of the season. We're really efficient at passing the ball. You'll see when we get to some of our clips, the play action pass that we do very, very well here at Muhlenberg College. And so you'll see why we're so efficient at passing the football. We've been great traditionally in the red zone, and we want to work on many, many situations. And then we've won postseason game for each of the last 6 seasons. In these last 2 in the Centennial Mac Bowl series. And then prior to that, we had a couple of runs in the NCAA playoffs, where we had 3 straight top 10 finishes. And then in 2017, we had another bowl championship victory there for us. So it's been a great run. Our coaching staff is wonderful. Coach Brown, who was on here earlier, Coach David, our defensive coordinator, Coach Franz, our recruiting coach, Zach Delvin at tight ends, Jacob Woods on defensive line, Jeremy Estremera, wide receivers, and Coach Maurice Stallings at the running back position. I coach the offensive line, head coach, and then I call plays here as well. Our weekly objectives, we think these are important for us. Everybody you can see all of our things on here and some of the goals that we have. And one of the ones that we really talk about and focus on, obviously, is ball security. I had the chance to see a couple of coaches talk this weekend at the Division I level, and they talked about ball security being the number 1 projector of wins and losses. And then a couple of the ones that we added, number 9, score after a defensive turnover. I think that's really important for your offense to know that when the defense turns that over, there needs to be a sense of urgency. And it can't just be one time that you're doing that, or it can't be the head coach just yelling at everybody, here we go, let's go. They need to know that we're trying to score after that. And then number 10, as you can see, score on the first possession of a half. So this opening drive talk is not just about the first drive of the game, but also the first drive of a half. If you remember, the Patriots had great success there where they would score right before the half and then come out and score again and have that 14-point swing for us. Offensively, what you're going to see is a run-pass balance. Some weeks we pass to set up the run, and other weeks we run to set up the pass. We're going to move our quarterback. One of the things that we talk about is protecting the quarterback. We have one that can run around really well right now, but in previous years, we have not had quarterbacks that run around so much, and so we want to protect him by moving the pocket. We found a lot of times when defensive coaches have schemes lined up, maybe they're not as sound gap-wise when it's 3rd and 100 as it is when it's 1st and 10. We're multiple tempo. We play fast when we want to. We play slow when we want to. We don't have a situation where we want to run 80 or 90 plays. We want to run the number of plays that are going to allow us to be successful. Big-time personnel packages for Muhlenberg. We've done it with 1 tailback. We've done it with 2 tailbacks. We've done it with 1 tight end, 2 tight ends, 3 receivers, 4 receivers. At Muhlenberg College, again, we're a school where our average SAT is just over 1,300 on the football team. We have a 3.2. We've got 8 guys with a 4.0. We've got the valedictorian at the college on this team. And so recruiting 4 receivers to fit a spread offense is sometimes harder at a place like Muhlenberg College. And so I think we're a good study for high school programs and other teams looking to transition because we've done it a number of different ways here. And then you can see find a way to win. At the end of the day, we tell our guys, like, we're all wrong, we're all right. You just got to find a way to win out there on the football field. Efficiency for us, this is gospel when we're putting together our game plan, when we're putting together our week-to-week stuff when we're grading. This is how we build our call sheet each week. It's just kind of a copy and paste from what we did during the week and making sure that we call all those plays. I can't think of, or I can't tell people enough, what you run during the week is what you need to run on Saturday. And I've been at places where I haven't done a good enough job of this, and I've been at places where I wasn't the play caller and we didn't do a good enough job of copying and pasting exactly what we did on Tuesday's practice to what we need to run on first down. So first down, again, efficiency for us is 4 or more yards. Second and long, gaining half the distance for us to be efficient. Second and short is where we want to take a shot. Think about the go zone, where we're going to take a shot. Third down, obviously, get the first down. Nothing groundbreaking on there. Maintain possession of the football for us. But we want to be as efficient as humanly possible on the offensive side of the ball here. Field zones, we think these are important into play calls as well. And not only on my call sheet is it calls by down and distance, but calls by field zone, and more than just your traditional red zone goal line. Coming out where we are, and then obviously getting into that red zone as well. We know that there are route concepts specifically where you can't throw the ball into the end zone as soon as you get to a certain yard line. So if we're going to throw our posts at 30 yards, when you're at the 20-yard line, you're talking about throwing it out of the back of the end zone. So we want to make sure that our play calls marry up with where we are on the football field there. And the same thing with our run game. When we get into the red zone and goal line, our run game shrinks, which makes it easier to practice as well. If you know you're really good at the counter play, or you're really good at the quarterback read, or you're really good at the draw series, just run what you do best inside those areas there. Besides just down and distance, field zone specific calls are really, really important to you everywhere. We want to make them defend every blade of the grass. So many times I was talking to our defensive coaches, and they'll have their hit charts, and they'll go, this team doesn't throw it deep to the field. If they're going to take a shot, it's always going to the boundary. They don't run the ball to the boundary. They don't run the ball to the field enough. And so we feel like on our call sheet, we need to make sure that they defend every single blade of grass. And if we can get them running sideline to sideline, that's going to be really important for us as well. And what we've got here is a couple of examples. Everybody thinks about taking shots to score. We think we can score from anywhere, anytime, any place. I tell our players, all of the plays outside of victory are designed to go for a touchdown. And it's sometimes our execution that allows them to get a stop here. Our loose script here, we've got a couple of slides that we want to talk about here. And some of these are in no particular order for us. We call it a loose script because I'm going to get off schedule at some time, either based on down and distance or based on field zone. I don't like saying, I think guys that say, I script the first 15 plays. And I always go, well, what about second and 25 when you have a personal foul? You're not going to just go with your inside zone play to set up third and 100, right? We talked about defining efficiency and making sure you gain half the distance there in those situations. So the first play of the game is an obvious. We want every person on the team, every person on the sideline, every coach to know exactly what it's going to be. This first third down is more than just one play. What's your first third and short? What's your first third and medium? What's your first third and long? And so you need to have all of those ready on there. So again, it's not just a 10-play drive each and every single week. You may end up in all of these things. And I like this because then it allows you to play fast and there's no panic. If you know it's 3rd and 1 and you're going to run the duo play, just call the duo play. Don't second guess yourself. It's what you do best. If you're an inside zone team, do what you do best. If it's 3rd and medium, you gain the first down and now it's 3rd medium, just go to the next 3rd down and medium call right there. What you were going to call first if it happened. It's your best thing. You call mesh, then call the mesh play and know exactly what you're going to do. And so when it's a big moment, you're on the road, the crowd is roaring, and you go, here we go, boys. This is what we're going to do. And most of your team knows it. Your coaches know it. And more importantly, you as a play caller you've got that highlighted on your call script to say, hey, here we go. What do we do best? Let's get going on this. For shot play, Bill Walsh and some others always had theories on shots and tricks. If you throw your first big punch, there's a chance maybe your opponent doesn't on trick plays because they feel like you're prepared for it and so on and so forth. So we want to call shot plays, those second downs, those backed up, those third downs, maybe in our go zone, and then when we get to the red zone. A must-call formation, we'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. It's maybe what you do best. Maybe it's something that gives them trouble in there. And then this is critical. Get your best player the football. I can't tell you how many times we go into our breakdown after a game and our defensive staff goes, God, they waited so long to get this young man involved. And we all have those receivers where they need the ball early and often in order to really get dialed into the football game, or your tailback needs 2 or 3 carries, or your quarterback's got to complete a pass. For us, it was our tight end this season. And so in many of these situations, you're going to see our tight end getting the ball early and often on these first drives. And then again, if you call these things, you can see it's more than 3 plays on here. You're probably going to gain a first down, and you're probably going to gain a bunch of yards. And so hopefully you flip the field if you haven't scored on this opening drive of either the first half or the second half in there.
Here are Winning Edge takeaways and ideas for implementation. 1. Plan for specific situations. You should have a detailed and flexible script for the first drive that covers various scenarios. This includes having plays ready for different down and distance situations, for example, 3rd and short and 3rd and long, as well as specific field zones like the red zone and goal line. Planning for these specifics helps ensure the offense can adapt to the unpredictable nature of the game without losing momentum or efficiency. 2. Prioritize ball security and efficiency. Emphasizing ball security and efficiency is crucial for a successful opening drive. Focus on plays that the team has practiced thoroughly and can execute reliably. Efficiency metrics like gaining 4 or more yards on first down and achieving half the distance needed on second down should guide play selection. This approach minimizes the risk of turnovers and maximizes the likelihood of maintaining possession and advancing down the field. And 3, engage key players early. Getting the ball to the team's best player early in the drive is vital. This leverages their skills to gain yards and helps them settle into the game and build confidence. Whether it's a star receiver, running back, or quarterback, involving them early can set the tone for the rest of the drive and the game. The strategy ensures that the offense's most effective weapons are utilized immediately. Be sure to check out the 10% Toolkit. The 10% Toolkit shares the latest and greatest products and services available in the coaching marketplace. Explore these pages for helpful tips, a winning edge, and special promotions for Coach and Coordinator podcast listeners. The link is in the show notes. Be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter. Every Tuesday morning, we email out our weekly tip sheet newsletter, the best ideas from recent Coach and Coordinator podcast episodes, as well as additional coaching development resources and recommendations sourced specifically for the 10% Coach. The link to sign up is in the show notes. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Be sure to go to your app for listening and rate and review. It helps more coaches find us and ultimately helps our game. Follow us on X @Coach K. Grabowski.